people off the internet, you could be fired. So there's not a lot of incentive left to speak your mind in the United States. And yet occasionally you do get glimpses of what the public thinks, especially when large groups of people have had a few beers. Here's something, for example, that's been happening at sporting events recently. Now, you may agree with that or not, but think about it for a second. It's kind of a weird thing to chant at a game. Joe Biden's not on the field, so why are the fans swearing at Joe Biden? Because they're mad. What are they mad about? Maybe they know they're being played. Maybe they know perfectly well that no matter what Joe Biden and his minions say in public, COVID, bad as it is, isn't even close to the greatest crisis this country actually faces right now. And neither is white supremacy, by the way, or the mullahs in Iran, or ISIS-K, or whatever bloated threat the industrial lie machine has manufactured this week for you to fear. Most people understand it's all crap. And they know it's crap because they live here. And they know the greatest crisis that America actually faces is the disintegration of America itself. And not just the social fabric. What do we all have in common again? More than that. The physical reality of the country is disintegrating. The buildings, the natural landscape, and above all, the people. A lot of them are falling apart. Look around. Yes, Americans are dying in large numbers, but it's not from a Chinese flu virus. The real dangers to the population are much more obvious than that, and they're omnipresent. It's loneliness. It's suicide. It's fast food. It's broken relationships. It's Xanax and fentanyl and cheap beer. Americans are dying in large numbers of self-inflicted deaths caused by sadness and neglect. That is true. The footage we're about to show you makes this point. It was shot in downtown Philadelphia not long ago, but it could have been in nearly any big city in America, Chicago, or San Francisco, or Seattle, or New York, or Washington, D.C., pick one. And the video is not a secret. It has millions of hits on YouTube. And here's the interesting thing. No one in Washington, we've heard, has mentioned it. Did you see that? Right there on the screen. That's the real crisis that we face. It's right in front of us. The walking dead, haunting our cities and forgotten rural towns. How did they get there? There are hundreds and hundreds of them just in Philadelphia. Shuffling, moaning, shooting up, dying, all under daylight in a major American city. And by the way, right down the street from where our founding documents were written. Imagine the selfless geniuses who framed our Declaration of Independence, our Constitution, returning 250 years later to see what their country has become. So that is the actual crisis that we face. It's the degradation of our people. But rather than fix it or care about it, which is the first step toward fixing it, they increase the degradation. Bow to our will or we'll punish you. Violate your own beliefs. Give us your dignity. At the very moment when the American population desperately needs to be loved, helped, understood, uplifted, they're being degraded and punished by their leaders. How's that going to end? The recall election